President Joe Biden's proposed US government budget would raise tax receipts by $4.951 trillion over 10 years, including more than $2.7 trillion in tax hikes on businesses and nearly $2 trillion on wealthy individuals and estates, the US Treasury said on Monday.
Look, folks, as I said in my State of the Union, I'm doing everything I can to lower the healthcare costs to provide people with peace of mind, not at the expense of doctors or medicine or hospitals or drug companies, but just to make it fair.
The Treasury estimated that provisions to raise taxes on wealthy individuals, new rules for estate transfers, and limiting high-income individuals' use of tax-advantaged retirement accounts would raise $1.96 trillion.
It's cutting the federal deficit, just what we've just done so far. Cut the federal deficit over time by $160 billion. That's $160 billion Medicare does not have to pay out because they're paying a rational price for this drug, not just this exorbitant price from before. Look, this year Medicare is negotiating lower prices for some of the costliest drugs on the market that treat everything from heart disease to arthritis. That's in the law that we've already passed. Now it's time to go further and give Medicare the power to negotiate lower prices for even more drugs over the next decade. Folks, if we're able to do that, we'll not only save lives, we're going to save taxpayers another estimated $200 billion. $200 billion taxpayers will not have to pay the drug companies for exorbitant prices that aren't warranted. His tax cut's about to expire, and he wants to add another $2 trillion tax cut. Well, I'm going to keep fighting like hell to make it fair. But guess what? But I'm a capitalist, man. Make all the money you want. Just begin to pay your fair share of taxes. Under my plan, as I said, look, a fair tax code is how we invest in things that make this country great, from health care, education, defense, and so much more, research, development. But here's the deal. The last administration enacted a $2 trillion tax cut. $2 trillion tax cut that benefits the very wealthy in the top 1%, the biggest corporations, and exploded the federal deficit. Last administration added more to the national debt than any presidential term in American history. Working people built this country. They pay more into Social Security than millionaires and billionaires do. It's not fair. Folks, we have two ways to go at Social Security and Medicare. Republicans will cut Social Security and Medicare to give us more tax cuts for the wealthy. Even this morning, Donald Trump said cuts to Social Security and Medicare are on the table again. Folks, it's about fundamental fairness. Here's another example. If you know how much, we have 1,000 billionaires in America. That's not a bad thing, per se. You know what their average tax rate is? 8.2% taxes. Anybody want to trade their tax rate? No, I'm serious. If we just charge them, had a tax code that charged them 25%, not the highest rate, 25%. You know how much that would raise over the next 10 years? $400 billion. $40 billion a year. Imagine what we could do. From cutting the deficit to providing for childcare, to providing health care, to continue to provide our military with all they need. So folks, look, this is not beyond our capacity.
The tax increase are part of Biden's election year budget wish list, which also includes new programs to assist low and middle income Americans with high housing and childcare costs and aim to cut the deficit. Congress is likely to discard the proposals, but the document forms a central campaign message for Biden. Their total includes Biden's billionaire tax, which would impose a 25% minimum tax on individuals with wealth of over $100 million. The Treasury estimated it would raise $502 billion over the decade.